Well, hello friends, greetings and salutations, fellow earthlings of this planet. This is Editing Misty, and this is my last Greek video from Greece. And as I was editing it, I didn't have much of an opening. So this is me welcoming you to watch my final Greece vacation video. This video, we will be looking at what's beyond the grounds of the Acropolis. When you leave the Acropolis, what you can see around the Acropolis, and we'll be going into the museum at the foothills of the Acropolis. So a lot of great Greek history, some silliness and fun, and I really hope that you enjoy the very last video from our Greek vacation. Enjoy. Kalimera! It's the morning time here in Athens. This is the last video we visited the Acropolis, Parthenon grounds, and now we are just outside of it, and there's a lot more things to see along the way as we're walking to the museum. We're gonna go to see some things when we get to the museum or before we get to the museum, but you can see we're outside, but you can see there's ruins everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. Now, supposedly over in here is if you know anything about Greek mythology, which I really don't, this was an ancient cave where Dionysus went and did things. I don't know. It says it's a cistern, so this is an ancient well. Temple of Demosis? Question mark. They don't quite know, but that's what their guess is. But look at all of the pillars that are fallen on the ground. You see that one is still standing. Now they have this all roped off because obviously they want to preserve and protect it, and they don't want people climbing on it and ruining it even more. But it's just kind of amazing if you just kind of stand here and look out. There was an archaic fountain on that spot over there. They have these little marble placers to kind of represent.
Look, the columns, just laying there.
Yeah, just laying there. Marble columns, just laying there. So we're gonna see some things on our way down. Here is some sort of a little cave. Oh, this was another cistern. You know, the ancient Greeks were very advanced for their time. They did have running water, and there are many parts that you can see some of the leftovers, not in the Acropolis, but when you're walking around Athens near the Acropolis, there are excavation sites where you can see clay piping or terracotta piping that was once used for drainage. It's really amazing to see, just to walk amongst these ruins where people have been walking for thousands of years in the very first city in the world. You can hear music in the background. It's just nice. Do you hear that music in the background? A fourth of the population live here in Athens. So it is a bustling city. But the people are so kind. Oh, there you are. I guess I'm going to climb up here and find Mark. Okay, I'm going to go a different way. Look at these. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Now, again, the white marble is new. And they're restoring it so we can see what it once looked like. Look at all of this inscription in here. Again, the Greeks were the first to have linear writing, which we use. So this says this is a site of the Roman Stoa. You can see this looks like it was the top of the archway, like up in there. And if you have Google Translate on your phone, we've used it a lot. I've held it up and you can translate what these, sometimes the translation is a little, you kind of have to decipher it a little bit sometimes. Mark's going to show you Google Translate on your phone.
The camera part right down the bottom.
And you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but Parliament, factionary, but then it doesn't make sense. So
it does a pretty good job.
It does. See if it'll pick up on this one. Milo, son of Pot.
I guess it didn't.
Milo, I don't know if would that be like another memorial stone. I don't know.
This was a huge place.
Oh, okay.
It was an impressive place.
Wow, look at that. So up here is the Parthenon, and where we're at right now is right here, and then below us it looks like was a pretty big building too, and then we're going to head over here to the theater. But you can see they did just have like columns that were just freestanding columns as well. The sanctuary of the god Asclepios and his daughter Hygienia, personification of health. Oh, I can see over here in the distance. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a good enough shot of it, but you can see over in here, it's kind of on the other side of this tent, they have shelves lined. Maybe we can see it at some point. I know. Temple of Asclepios. But you can see where the archaeologists have things stored. Yeah, you can kind of see it over here.
Those were probably the original columns, and they've redone them.
But over in the distance, you can see shelves where they have everything stored and cataloged, so they can put the pieces back together, basically. Hopefully. It's amazing how it was just built on this mountain. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Here is one of the theaters that we did see it in the Acropolis video, which I will tag. We saw it from above when we were up there on that wall. But you can kind of see they have like these are seats, like probably for noble people, priest Demetrios and Festafis. So they've got inscriptions on these stone seats. So these would have been like the primo seats. And I bet you up there's a throne, it looks like up there. You see that? Right there. That was where the really important people would sit. And then all the other people would just sit in these other little seats. What?
My
priest sends booty. Priest sends booty sits there. That was Willie's seat. It's pretty amazing. I mean, everywhere you look, there are just things. And you can see they've been marked, so the archaeologists are constantly working on restoring and making sure these items are preserved and put back in the most original way that they possibly can be. It's pretty incredible. Amazing. And when you can touch the marble, touch the marble. You can kind of see in the marble how they would put the pieces together when they were constructed. So that's kind of a neat thing to see as well. All right, so now we are making our way to the Acropolis Museum. I did a quick Google search and it says that filming is allowed as long as you're not using flash photography and all that jazz. So we should be good to go to show you some of the original statues that they've removed from the Acropolis, and they moved for safekeeping here in the Acropolis Museum.
Walking down this backside to the museum is not bad.
No.
Walking up, I think, would be quite the hike.
So we recommend, if you're going to the Acropolis, to go on the north side.
Yeah, on the north side.
Yeah.
We're staying on kind of the northwest side. So it was very convenient for us just to walk over to that north side,
Yeah.
the main entrance.
People say that if you're entering in on the south side, there is fewer people entering on the south side, but it's more of a hike to get up there than on the north side. So my recommendation is, if you're going up there, to go to the north side versus the south side.
The north side was just, it was steep. I mean, it was like a steep walking path.
But it was shady.
It was slick at points, but it was a very much nicer hike.
Yeah, I agree. So now we're getting ready to exit the Acropolis through here, but your entrance into the Acropolis will get you into the museum. So that's where we're going to go next. Let me correct myself. I was wrong. It doesn't get you into the museum. It does get you into the other archaeological sites. The museum is 20 euro each to get in. So now look at the lines to get in now. Much more people. My tip is to go first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning is the key. A lot more people here, and there's a ton more people when you're up on the hill. Beautiful. It looks like he made that instrument too. I'm telling you, the people here are incredible. All right, so here we are. We're getting ready to go into the Acropolis Museum. There's my fishing hat man. You ready? Ready?
Yeah.
All right, hopefully it'll be nice, cool, and air conditioned. Before you even get into the museum, you can see we're stepping on this glass floor. And you can see, maybe if I can get my camera to there we go, ruins underneath our feet. Wow, look at these tiles. Oh my gosh, I hope it's getting picked up on camera through these dots. That's incredible. I bet you underneath the whole city of Athens, you would see things like this. Oh, look at all the euros that people have put in there to make a wish. But look at this road. Wow. And the wells. That looks like it might, but look, it just goes on and on and on and on underneath the museum. That's incredible. So there's even some places in the floor that where you can see ruins, and then up here you can see these were ruins that were found during excavation, and some of them were in pieces, and they've painstakingly put them all back together. You can see some of the decoration that were on them. So this is number 19. So this one is a three-handled vessel from 1400 to 1375 BC. This right here is a cup from 1500 to 1300 BC. It's amazing. Two-handled cup right there. Look at how beautiful that vase is. And it looks fairly intact. And all of these little cups here and how beautifully they were decorated and painted. So these terracotta statues are original, and they believe to be erected on the south side of the Acropolis, which was when we were leaving the Acropolis, was on our way down. Pretty amazing. The detail on their faces. This little owl, it was used as a support for one of the seats in the theater. It's highly decorated. I thought that you guys would like to see the owl. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is the mask of Dionysus. It was probably placed up high on a column, adorned with the god's clothes around which various rites were held. This is the actual one. And all these other reliefs. Oh wow. Look at these. Screaming ladies. These are theatrical masks, slab with theatrical masks, probably from the decoration of the stage of the theater. This is Papa Salinas, the young Dionysus, the god of wine and theater.
I won't speak about the birth of theater.
He has a hairy theatrical costume on. This is a little 5th century graffiti right here, and it translates to Lysis is handsome, and it was added in the 5th century BC. So it's a little bit of graffiti from ancient times. This is a bronze relief that was Medusa, and you can kind of see her face. And you know the story, Medusa, even with the severed head. You know, she was killed. Her head was chopped off with the help of Athena, and even her severed head would turn people to stone. So you don't see the snakes on her headdress, but you can see her demon-looking face. And this, they put this on a temple. Inside the museum, you can see the tippy top of the Parthenon, right up there. There's some more artifacts in here that were found from excavations. Some tools.
6 and 8 are mirrors. Oh, down the bottom.
Oh yeah, these were mirrors. You know, they didn't have glass and stuff back then, but they would polish them enough to where you could get some reflection off of the stone. This is an ancient gutter. Look at that.
That was a spout.
Hello in there! And then when you turn the corner, you can see how beautifully it was decorated, and they kind of have it to where it would have looked like on the peak of a building. But look at this. Heraclides and Triton. Look at this. And see the use of color? The use of color.
So limestone, as we said, the first one, archaic period, 6th century.
Again, all 6th century BC. This is a bull devoured by 2 lions.
You can see the bowl here.
Yeah, you can see the bull. You can see the lion's foot. And that's the main part of the lion there. Yeah. And again, the use of color. And this is all original that was left. The color. This is the three-bodied Daimon. Up there you can see more of the ancient gutter. And it would have been depicted in this peak, kind of like it's showing there in that artwork. So this would have been adorned, and the rest of that bull and lion statue would have been there, and then the gutter would have flown down here and then ended over here. So here's the other side of the gutter. Remember we talked a little bit about Medusa? Well, here is some more reliefs of Medusa. And so it is said that Medusa, well, during Athena's time, she needed to have priestesses. And Medusa was one of those priestesses, and she was very, 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 very beautiful. And all of the priestesses needed to be virgins. Well, so Poseidon came and found Medusa alone one evening. So she was no longer a virgin, and so she could no longer be a priestess. And the theory goes, or the myth goes, that Athena was very jealous of Medusa because she was so incredibly beautiful. You know, she had the snakes and everything, and she was so beautiful that she could turn somebody into stone. And so Perseus was commissioned by Athena to go and kill Medusa. And he had the shield, and he polished it and polished it and polished it, and it reflected back on to Medusa, so she turned to stone. And then he cut off her head, and he brought it to Athena as, here, look what I did. And so, you know, if you looked at Medusa, you would turn to stone. That's just the mythology of the whole thing. Which, Clash of the Titans, I mean, all this is starting to come back to me. You know that movie, Clash of the Titans? Watch it, and it'll make it make sense. A plaque with a hoplite racer. Again, note the use of color. It's an athlete who races in armor. And the upper part right here, he must have been like a handsome fella, because it says Meglias Kalos, which means Meglias is good looking. What I wanted to note is just the way that the building is shaped. You notice these big columns. So columns are built to represent the way that the Parthenon would have looked on the interior, with the way that the columns are. 6 on the outside, and then there were, I think, 14 on the out. It's just looked to try to mimic what the Parthenon looked like. And the red pediment. The red pediment represents Hercules' fight against the marine Triton. Again, look at the color, the red color. Modern depiction of the Acropolis, which has the women. We can see 4 of them. 4 of them are here. But this is what it looked like when it had the roof, or what they think it looked like, and the columns intact. So it's neat to see the model of it as well. Coaching the girls. Now these were on the Acropolis. Remember we saw in that video that I recorded there, this is just the back side of them. We'll get to the front side here in a moment. But they were replaced. But these Cori figures are original. They're the Caryatids. You can see their hair. These are the original ones. Look at all of the vertical folds of the robes. Wow. These would have supported the roof. You can see their hair. And each one has a different style. So all the dresses and the robes are all in a different style. There's only 5 of them because the 6th one was stolen in the 1800s by England, and now it is in a museum. She's by herself, but they need to be reunited. Come on, England, return it, bring it back to where she belongs with her sisters, right there in that spot. Everybody write a letter. No, I don't know, but they should be together, in my opinion. You can see this one is not fared as well in shape, but you can see how the arms would have been attached. The sculptor would have attached the arms, probably was sculpted separately, but boy, they are beautiful, aren't they? And all of the pillars are a little bit different, and all of the robes are different, but this is a treat to see. Fragments of the Temple of Nike. Called Nike. Nike holding a shield. Goddess Athena seated on a rock is this one. 2 Nike leading a bull to sacrifice. Oh yeah, there's the bull. And then over here, Goddess Athena seated on a rock, and Nike stretching her arms to adorn a trophy. And over here you can see, I think this is what the roof line and how it almost looks like Lincoln logs of how it was kind of put together with wood. And obviously the wood is deteriorated, that's why there's no roof on it. And it just kind of gives you some of the way how it was made. The upper structure of the roof was made with wood, probably olive wood. And then they have some of the remnants. These coffers on the top there. Yeah, this is the entrance of the Acropolis. We walked up those marble steps, and then you passed through.
Basically right through the middle.
Right through the middle. Yeah, this was like the before, and then you would see the Parthenon past this. I think the Nike was right here. It's neat that they have these models that you can see what it would have looked like. There's a bust over here that I wanted to look at. So here he is. Look at his beard. So this is Hermes from Hermetic Steel. Look at his hair. Their noses are always missing, it seems like. This is another Hermes Propylaeus. A little bit better a view of all the statues and stuff. I could not film the statues themselves. They don't allow photography or any video, but you can see all of the artifacts that you can see, and it's pretty amazing. You can get that up close and personal with these statues and see all the colors of the paint that's still there. You can see this lion's head down here that was part of a gutter. So, and you can see the columns that kind of represent the columns at the Parthenon. So, incredible museum. Really, really incredible. Just no photographs, no videoing in this part right here. But the rest of the museum, you're free to take photographs with no flash and do video. Top floor, you get a wonderful view of the Parthenon and the Acropolis. All right, up there is the Parthenon. It's not the same as being up there, but you can still get a good view of it. Look at that. Would you look at that? Just another view of the Acropolis. This is a water spout from the northeast corner of the Parthenon. I think I lost my microphone, but look at that. That is a water spout. Isn't that incredible? Wow. 4-horse chariot of Selene on the exterior of the Parthenon. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? Dion and Aphrodite. And this is Hestia. And still you can see more of the reliefs up here. Artemis driving the chariot of Apollo. This is Hera. That's incredible. Again, more reliefs over there on that far wall. And this is Artemis. This is a Kore. Dionysos. And we've got the 4-horse chariot of Helios here. And you can see in the holes where the reins were. That's more Helios. Okay, we just left the museum and it was amazing. And you can see down below they're still doing some archaeological work. Like I said, I am not going to stand on the crack. There is a crack on that glass. I shall not stand on that. But it's kind of amazing. You see steps and walls. Oh, you can see it a little bit easier over here. We're going to walk over to, we're going to get something to eat, and then we're going to walk over to Mars Hill, which is where John the Baptist preached. Oh, I'm sorry, not John the Baptist, Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul. But look at this. And it's just amazing that, yeah, people throwing money. And just how the curved, see how the bricks are curved in these walls?
What was this?
And you can see the terracotta water, like that's where the water would flow. Those terracotta, I guess, pipes. But I guarantee you, if you took down all these modern buildings, this is what you would find underneath. Isn't this crazy? Look at it. Oh, it's just incredible to see. And the fact that people, thousands of years ago, they lived and they had a democracy and there was a community and you know, you can even see over there in the corner, I don't know if it's picking up, I'll try to zoom in. There is tiled floor. These might have been homes. It's incredible. I love this kind of stuff. I mean, if you love history and, you know, these are the kind of places that you kind of want to walk in the footsteps of people that once walked in these areas too. And again, it just makes you understand and realize that our little glimpse or our little bit in life, it's just a glimmer of all the things and all the people and all of the communities that came before us. We're just a little bitty, teeny tiny little sliver that what has made up the world over the years and over the ages. I don't know. It's just a little food for thought, I guess. All right, we're gonna go get something to eat because we are quite hungry. We didn't eat breakfast. We skedaddled to the Acropolis as soon as we got up and dressed. So we're gonna find a nice little place to have lunch, and then we're going to go up to Mars Hill. All right, we are now heading up to Areopagus, which is also known as Mars Hill. And it's near where the Acropolis and the museum was. And it means Hill of Ares. And Ares was the Greek god of war, called Mars by the Romans. Now, in ancient Athens, the hill was home to a powerful council called the Areopagus Council, which handled important legal cases, including homicide trials. According to Greek mythology, Ares himself was supposedly put on trial when we get up to the hill, on that hill, for killing a man, giving the hill its kind of legendary connection to justice. And around 51 AD, the apostle Saint Paul delivered one of his most famous speeches here. He spoke to the Athenians about Christianity and referred to the altar he had seen dedicated to an unknown God. The sermon is recorded in the Bible in Acts 17:22 through 31. So, because of the history with Ares and the Apostle Paul, it is definitely a pilgrimage that Christians will go to, just to have, because it has that connection of where the Apostle Paul actually stood and gave that sermon about Christianity. Because if you didn't know, during the time when the Turks occupied this area, there were a lot of mosques in Christianity, and obviously during the time of the Acropolis, there was a lot of pagan religion and then worshiping gods and that sort of thing. And then when Paul came, he spoke to the people of Athens about Christianity, and that was kind of the influence that is still here today. So it's a little bit of a walk uphill. So we're going to take that trek up there, and when we get up there, it's going to have beautiful views of the city of Athens. A lot of people like to go up there during sunset because, again, the beautiful views. It is not sunset. It is smack dab in the middle of the day. So we're not going up here at an ideal time, but we're still going to make the pilgrimage up. So when we get up to the hill, we'll check it out. Oh, but on the way to the hill, we're going, I'm going to stop a minute. You can stop and rest, because it's a hill and we still got more to do. But on our way up, there is a little village town that makes you feel like you are in the Greek islands. Again, there's a lot of cats, so it's on our way. So we'll be able to stop a little bit and hopefully see some kitty cats. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off so I can huff myself up this hill. There's the side of the Acropolis, that beautiful Greek flag blowing in the wind. And up we go. So as we were walking, we came across this marble headstone, and we got out our translation. It says April 27th, 1941. On the day of entry of German troops into Athens, Kostanos Koulikidis, guardian of the Greek flag of the Acropolis, refusing to surrender, fell from the sacred rock wrapped in the flag, pioneer of the resistance of the century. So this is a memorial for Konstantinos Koulikis. Thank you for your service, for defending your land. That is quite the sacrifice. I bet your family is so honored and proud. All right, so off in the distance you see that big hill. That's the tallest point. You can take a cable car up there. We were gonna go up there to watch the sunset, but it's a 14-mile drive. It looks much closer than what it is, but we would have to rent an Uber, and we're just not going to do it. So we are going to see the Acropolis at night from our hotel. Look how beautiful these flowers are. Bush, tree. I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but they're everywhere. And they're gorgeous. Okay, up we go. Interesting things when you kind of go off the beaten path. Look at this little church here. The Spanish style roof. I I know I'm filming through the fence here, but it's pretty cool. Just going through these little narrow passages. It's a beautiful plant. Okay, more beautiful plants. Please keep quiet. I will do my best. Yeah, some of this artwork, some of it is really pretty good. That looks like me in the morning. There's Willie in the morning. Look at this little mouse. Look at how cute he is. That is really good. So some of the graffiti is actually, oh, there's a breeze right here that feels heavenly. Okay, here we're trekking on. Going down these little alleys, this little village. The locals back in the day that were helping build the city of Greece. They came from Santorini and some of the other Greek islands, and so they created this little village at the foot of the Acropolis, and it kind of reminded them of being in Santorini, you know, with a lot of the blue and the whites. It's a nice view of the city down there. But it's just like these little winding little paths. The locals do ask for you to be a little quiet. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. But this is the area that you'll see a lot of cats. Oh Lord, more stairs. Let's go. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna. Oh! I hear music. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if you hear it or not, but someone's playing some music. Oh, how nice. Oh, yeah, this is a nice view here of the city. That's beautiful. And there's a nice breeze coming in. It's a nice little resting point after traversing through all those little crevices. Okay, now we go downhill.
To go back up, probably.
Probably to go back up. But here we go. Church of the Metamorphosis. Isn't that beautiful? One thing that we noticed was we were walking by is this archway here that's been stoned in. But you can make out there was pillars here. It might have been another doorway. There's a pillar there and a pillar there. And the arches in the window and just the way that the windows are made. So it's all these little things when you're taking these little side alleys and side roads. There's the Acropolis right there. We're standing at the foothills, and you can guarantee that all of this is there's ruins. I mean, there's all kinds of things to still be explored.
Well,
It's a little.
speaking of which,
Oh yeah, see?
that's like the same flooring from the museum.
Yeah. And it's right outside this home. And that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's the Acropolis right there. This is a museum. I think it's an art museum. There's that little Church of the Metamorphosis straight down there. I will say one of your best friends if you are exploring is to use chat or is to use your GPS, the walking routes on your phone. You do get a little, they can be squirrely.
Sometimes the little things just kind of spinning around and like, oh, you're here? Oh, what? No, you're here.
Yeah, they can be a little squirrely, but it's going to be the best way that you will be able to navigate and get around because there's just so much to see and you need to do it on foot. I mean, you obviously can. There is the hop on, hop off bus that you can do. We almost decided to do that. And you can get a package where it does include the museum, right? Mm-hmm. And the Acropolis,
Yeah.
I think.
It's like either or. I couldn't find one with all three.
Yeah. But we read the reviews, and a lot of the reviews say the traffic here is pretty busy, and everything around the Acropolis is within walking distance, and it might be like a 15 minute walk to get to different things that you want to see. And if you do the hop on hop off, you're stuck in traffic for the majority of that. But it is a guided tour, so they will talk. I don't know if it's like someone with a microphone. It's probably recorded at certain stops where you can get a little bit of history. So if that is something that you would like to do, maybe if you have some mobility issues and you still want to get around and you want to see as much as you possibly can, you can hop on and hop off. So I do recommend doing that if you don't mind the stopping and starting. I wouldn't mind. He would mind more than me.
Make sure you bring in an extra battery pack for your phones.
Yeah, if you're using the GPS.
Because you're using GPS a lot.
It drains your battery.
Pictures.
It drains your battery. All right, are you ready to traverse?
Yep, 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes and we'll be on Mars Hill, hopefully. There's the foothills, or we're in the foothills of the Acropolis, and we found the hill. It's right here. This is Mars Hill. This is where the highest courts in Greek times and ancient Greek times, they would have their trials. This is where supposedly Ares had his trial, and where the Apostle Paul gave one of the most important speeches, I guess, in history, especially for the Christian faith. While this rock here, this hill, doesn't look like much, 2,000 years ago, it was a site of the highest court in the land here in Greece, and one of the most powerful sermons in Christianity. So we're gonna go on top and climb these stairs to Mars Hill. See you when we get up there. And a lot of people do come up here to watch the sunset. Oh my gosh, it feels so much better. Oh, that wind is lovely. Wow. Well, that's incredible. And like I said, 2,000 years ago, this Mars Hill, the Agathos, was where the Agathos court was held. You can see the Acropolis over here in the distance. So 2,000 years ago, this was the highest court in Greek history, and this was a place where the Apostle Paul gave a speech from Acts and preached on bringing Christianity here to Greece. Now, there isn't any signs that appear anywhere saying where they think that this is where the Apostle Paul gave his speech, or this is where this happened. It just happened here in this area. It's pretty spectacular. So it looks like restored drawing of this Church of Saint Dionysus, the Ergopite, and the Archbishop. I don't know where this is. Probably down here, maybe. Looking that direction. The Acropolis is also associated with the spread of Christianity into Greece. 51 AD, the Apostle Paul taught the Athenians the tenets of the new religion at the summit of the hill. And it says the Church of Saint Dionysos was a 3-aisled basilica with a narthex at the west central apse. Built in the middle of the 16th century, it was probably destroyed by an earthquake in 1601. The church was surrounded to the north and west by monumental Archbishop's Palace, So this, I'm assuming, might have been down here. If I showed these earlier or not, but this, what I would assume would have been a home. But look at that tile floor. You can't go down here. This is protected. But the Acropolis is just past these trees where you can kind of see it right there. We're walking downhill.
It's a Roman mosaic from the 2nd century AD.
A Roman mosaic, 2nd century AD. Oh, you can see a little bit of the Acropolis through the trees. So according to the sign that I just read, this was like a little neighborhood in Roman during the Roman occupation. I'm gonna end the vlog when we're seeing the Acropolis at night. But this was our day at the Acropolis. It was fantastic. Did we see everything? No. It's very spread out, so we had to kind of pick and choose what we wanted to see since we only had one day. Some of the sites we were able to see from the Acropolis, just not being down, like we didn't go to the Olympic Stadium area. We could see it.
But we found out that the online guide the audio guide that we were listening to, they said that the tickets for the Acropolis
were included
that. They don't do that anymore.
No, that's not the case anymore. What's this over here?
A sign.
Well, I know that. So just walking, you will see all kinds. The Fountain of the Sphinx.
Not Sphinx.
Sphinx. Is it the Fountain of Youth?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's basically just an ancient water system that's locked off. All these like little passageways and kita 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 kita. Oh baby, oh he's a sweet baby kitty kitty kitty. Meow meow meow. Psst, 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 psst. He's like, leave me alone. I found a cool place to rest.
He knows where to lay.
He does know where to lay.
Just in the shade behind the fence.
Yep. I love seeing the cats, but at the same time, I would like to take them all home with me, but they are well taken care of. We've seen some fat cats. We've seen some cats that look a little mythical, but I think for the most part, they are well fed. And there are a lot of animal like charities that will collect the cats and they'll take them in and they'll fix them. And that's why you notice like the little like clip in their ear, and that's just to let them know again that that cat has been fixed. So they're trying to control the cat population as best that they can. Here's another little sign here for this. So they did the excavation in this cave over here. It's kind of blocked off, and it says that there was a relief chiseled directly on the bedrock presenting Pan, a naked nymph, and a dog. The presence of this relief led to the identification of this monument as unknown, not reported by any ancient writer, sanctuary of Pan. So the cult of Pan was in caves as well documented in the countryside of Attica in the 5th century BC, as well as inside the ancient northwest slope of the Acropolis, which would be, there's the Acropolis right there, so it would have been right over in there. So in this cave is where they found engraved in the bedrock Pan and a dog.
Looks like at one time you could get in there.
Well, I was just thinking, do they, like, yeah, at one time, looks like you could go back in there. But that is not the case any longer. I bet you the cats get in there, though. There's probably a whole cat village in there, living their best cat life. See a kitty cat, but it's an orange one, so they're usually the ones that run from me. Hi, kitty. Okay, see, yeah, he's gonna run. Hi, baby, it's okay. Hi, baby. The black ones are the friendliest ones. Hi, honey. Kitty, 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 kitty. Psst, psst. Hi. And this one's like, I don't know. Okay. The yellow cats are always like, They're a little crazy, the yellow cats. The yellow, orange, whatever. I like the orange cats are my favorite because my Conway Twitty kitty was an orange cat. That was the outdoor theater.
Oh yeah, see it? The chairs out here.
Oh look, there's Jim Belushi there. Toga, toga. But yeah, there's chairs in there. They have like a little outdoor movie theater. I wonder if they play vintage movies. Look. Toga, toga. Is this, wait, is this Animal House? National Lampoon's Animal House.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be gosh darn. Looking over to this gang of cats. They're eating. I don't know if they're going to allow me to pet them or talk to them. But, oh, geez. Pigeon, you scared the tar out of me. Oh, look at these babies. Oh, see this orange cat's like, that's my food. Hi, babies. Oh, I like this floofy one. It reminds me of Mr. Fluffer Pants. I don't want to disturb them while they're eating, but look at these. Hi. Okay. That one just looks a little skinny. I'm sorry. Here. You share. You share, baby. Okay. There's some. Oh, I love them. Do you guys all want to come home with me? I think I'm at my capacity in my... Look at this floofy one. Look at you, floofy. Hi, babies. Hello. Here, let me pick up some more of these morsels that I had on the floor. Here you go, baby. Here. There's more. I love the floofy one. There you go, babies. There's a whole cat hangout right here. Okay, we stopped at a little restaurant and we got some gelato. I got pistachio and mango, and Mark got
Orange and banana.
orange and banana. I'm gonna try mango. What do you have on top, banana?
I'll do both.
That mango, it tastes just like mango. What's that
Banana
on
on
top?
top.
You don't like mango, do you?
Not really.
Oh, that's good.
It's pretty good.
The banana wins. Between the banana,
Go down deep.
go down deep is the orange. That banana. Okay. I also got pistachio. It's got a little bit of mango on it there. Pistachio. That's good too. Banana wins.
Pretty good.
And I didn't film a lot of our eating in the restaurants. Maybe some of you wanted to see that. I don't know. To me, that's just more of an intimate time. I don't know. And I don't think y'all want to watch us eat.
But if you want to see the pictures, go on her Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to see the pictures, go on my Instagram. Because I did post the pictures on Instagram. But we're going to eat our gelato. Head back to the apartment, start getting packed up a little bit. It's got an early flight in the morning, but we will go up to the rooftop of our Airbnb and see the Acropolis at night. I am in my pajamas, and we're on the roof of our Airbnb. Solar panels for the hot water heaters, we think. And out this way, it's our last night. It's our last night in Greece, Mark. How did that happen? Beautiful purple tree. And then when you look over here, look at that. There's the Acropolis. So it's not quite like dark, but you can still see that it is lit up. And there she is. And there is the Acropolis. It's pretty amazing to be able to see it from the roof, even though that building in front of us is partially blocking it. I feel like I could almost see it better if I stood farther away. You can see it a little bit better if you stand a little farther away. Isn't it pretty? There's still a lot of people up there. Well, all good things must come to an end. Right, Mark?
I guess.
And we're sad that it has come to an end. I'm not going to be filming our journey home. We have an 11-hour flight from here in Athens to JFK.
Nobody needs to see that.
No, nobody needs to see that. We have to, our cab is picking us up at 6:20 in the morning, so nobody needs to see that. It is an overnight flight, and we will fly into JFK and then fly into Indianapolis, and then we have an hour and a half drive home. So we won't get home until Wednesday around midnight. But did you have a good trip?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the next one?
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned. I will be making an announcement soon for our next adventure. If you would like to come along with us, group travel is an amazing way to get out and see the world in a safe way that you can be with a group of people. You're never going to be alone. The itinerary is all planned out for you, and there's no guessing. So be on the lookout for an announcement for our next trip. Is going to be to London and Scotland.
We've had several single people.
We've had several solo travelers through all of our journeys that we've gone on, and Mark and I are always available to be. You can be the third or fourth wheel.
Yeah.
We live for that. We love that. We love being able to hang out with our fellow travelers and seeing the excitement in everybody's eyes when they get to experience and travel all of these fun places. So that will be announced very, very soon. And thanks for joining along with us. I've made a lot of videos on this trip. And I will be sprinkling in some vlogs in between the Greece videos, but I'm gonna be sad when I'm editing those videos, because I'm gonna wish that I was reliving the moments with everybody. But we have other trips to plan, but Mark and I have both decided that we definitely want to come back to Greece. So I'm probably going to be planning another Greece trip to a different island. I've discovered, and I think you have too, that we like the Greek islands. It was great being here and seeing Athens and the history, but we really love the islands and that whole island vibe. So probably gonna explore some more of the Greek islands. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. Kalinikta to...
All right.
Yes, Kalinikta.
Good job.
I get them confused. To Greece, and it's been amazing.
You're gonna say Evaristo?
Evaristo.
Well, no. Tell them.
Oh, Evaristo to you all. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye, guys.